They watched birds and made the big choice to fight or not. Imagine that for a moment. Roman general on a dusty hill at dawn, thousands under his command, soldiers wait behind him. His eyes are not on the enemy lines across the valley. He isn't looking at maps spread on a table behind him. He looks up, he listens intently, waiting for the flutter of wings. He listens for a specific call echoing through the morning air. He needs one small sign from a bird. That single sign can start a ferocious battle, or it can halt the entire army in its tracks. This idea feels utterly strange to us today, like something from a fantasy story, like pure magic. But long ago, for some of the most disciplined armies in history, this was deadly serious. They used bird divination, a ritual known as augury. This was not a minor superstition, it was a central official procedure. The fate of legions, the lives of men, the futures of empires, all could hang in the balance, depending on the flight path of an eagle, or the feeding habits of sacred chickens. Can you picture the immense pressure of that moment? The air is thick with tension, horns ready to sound the charge, drums prepared to beat the rhythm of war. Yet everyone waits for a verdict from a creature of the air. Hooked by strange history? Subscribe, comment your wildest ancient warfare fact, and share this now to keep these stories flying. So, what exactly is augury? In the simplest terms, augury is the ancient practice of interpreting the will of the gods by observing the behavior of birds. It was a formal and highly structured form of divination. A specially trained priest or official, known as an augur in Rome, would carefully watch for specific signs. He would observe how the birds flew, left to right to left. Did they fly high and strong, or low and faltering? He would listen to their calls, noting the type of sound and its repetition. He also watched their number and how they interacted with each other. Even the way a group of sacred chickens ate their food could be a powerful omen, a system known as the tripudium. These signs were not random. They had established meanings passed down through generations. In ancient Rome, the augurs were not fringe mystics. They were respected public officials who formed a powerful religious college. Their role was essential to the functioning of the state. No major public business could proceed without first taking the auspices, elections for consuls, the passing of new laws, the declaration of war, the commencement of a battle. The augur would perform the ritual within a designated sacred space, a templum, which he marked on the ground. From this spot, he would observe a specific portion of the sky. The process was precise and solemn. Holding a curved wand-like staff called a litus, he ritually defined the boundaries of his observation space. He would stand perfectly still, reciting prayers to invite the gods to show a sign. An eagle flying from left to right might be Jupiter's favor. Conversely, the hoot of an owl during the day or a woodpecker tapping on a particular tree could be a dire warning. The sign, whether good, auspicium, or bad, omen, was reported to the magistrate or general. These bird-based decisions were not just minor course corrections, they could alter history. Greek and Roman historians record cases where augury directly shaped major events. In the First Punic War, a titanic struggle between Rome and Carthage, Pulcher performed the required ritual with sacred chickens before battle. They refused to eat, a terrible omen signaling divine disapproval.
Frustrated, he declared, "If they will not eat, then let them drink."
He threw the sacred chickens into the sea and attacked anyway. The result was a catastrophic disaster. Rome's fleet was crushed at Drepana. For generations, Romans blamed Pulcher's impiety. The Greeks relied on seers. In Homer, heroes constantly looked to the skies. Unfavorable winds at Aulis. An eagle devouring a snake was an omen of victory. Augury could be manipulated, used to justify decisions already made. A bad sign bought time. A favorable reading rallied troops and silenced critics. Reading the divine will meant shaping public opinion and state action. If you love strange history, stay with me, and drop a comment with the weirdest thing you've heard about ancient warfare. Consider subscribing, it helps more than you know. Tell a friend about this story. This is a world where the gods spoke through wings and beaks. Why did these highly intelligent leaders, men who engineered roads, aqueducts, complex siege engines, place so much trust in birds? First, profound religious belief. Gods were active in mortal life. They could bring victory, defeat, prosperity. famine. The sky was their domain, birds their messengers. A sign from above felt like a message from Jupiter, Zeus. Second, war is terrifying uncertainty. The burden was crushing. Augury offered foresight and calm, control in chaos. A favorable omen could transform fear into confidence. A soldier who believed the gods were on his side would fight harder. A bad omen could enforce caution, avoiding traps and bad terrain. Third, divine legitimation made leadership harder to challenge. Unity at the front and support at home. Finally, tradition and confirmation bias. Victories after good signs were retold. Failures after ignored omens warned the next generation. Let's paint a picture of the ritual itself, to feel the weight of the moment. The air is cold and damp. You hear thousands murmuring, the clink of armor, the nervous snorting of horses. A hush falls. The augur stands within the templum, raises his lichus, and asks whether this is the day you will live or die. He divides the sky into regions, his sacred viewing frame. You look up, empty blue. Suddenly, a speck appears, resolves into a bird. He watches its path. Left to right, is the call strong and clear? A subtle nod. The general straightens, the horns blare and the drums beat. The gods approve. Enjoying this? Like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the next strange story. Did this reliance on augury actually help win wars? The answer is complex. It was a double-edged sword that could help, that could harm. Negative omens enforced caution, buying time to gather intelligence, wait for weather, and let reinforcements arrive. A favorable omen boosted morale, and forged cohesion and bravery. It turned a command into a sacred duty. When evenly matched, belief itself could be decisive. Do you think a modern leader could use something like this? What's the equivalent today? Tell me in the comments. If you're enjoying this, please like, share with a friend, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next strange story. But rigid adherence could paralyze strategy, or spark panic at the worst moment. Clever foes could try to plant bad omens to disrupt morale and delay action. Surrendering flexibility to nature could be disastrous in fast-moving war. Ultimately, the birds were not all powerful, but their messages mattered. They shaped military decisions, altered careers, influenced history in ways we struggle to grasp. In their world, sacred and secular, rational and mystical, often did not divide. Consulting the gods was as logical as sharpening swords or scouting terrain. It gave order, meaning, and a sense of control in a violent world. We have satellites, real-time intelligence, complex data, maps, logistics, superior tech. Yet the urge behind augury remains. Leaders still seek signs, polls, experts, markets to feel certain before high-stakes decisions. The tools changed, the need did not. The stories of augury endured for a reason. Victors praised omens, an eagle appearing just in time. They credited the gods. Myths reinforced Rome's destiny. Pulchers drowned chickens warned against impiety. The legacy lives not only in battles, but in the stories societies told about themselves, their gods, and their place in the world. If this story surprised you, share it now. I want to hear your thoughts. Comment below. And make sure you're subscribed for more strange, wonderful history. You won't want to miss the next tale of how people wrestled with fate and fear in incredible ways. This journey is one we take together. Your voice is part of it. Thank you for watching and being part of this community of curious minds. Final thought. A bird's call once could change the fate of empires. Today, we still listen for signs, but we're looking at different skies. Tap subscribe, drop a comment with your favorite strange omen, and share this to bring more curious minds aboard.